we're now going to continue to work on this composite image. So what we're going to do first is, clearly we've got a problem with the water that's sitting up here. Clearly that doesn't look very good. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the eraser tool, and the eraser tool is, where is that going? Some of these tools, that's it there. So we've got the eraser. Now, as I said before, some of these are already done. So this, the last time I used it, I was using a low opacitor. I need to move that up to 100%. So effectively, whatever I'm going to do is going to rub out 100%. We're going to look at the brush, and this one here is going to rub out 100% of whatever this area is touching, and this one is more feathered. So in the middle of it, it's going to be 100%, and then as we go out towards the edge, it's going to be less. So I'm going to use that brush, and then I'm going to change the size of this to about 250, right? So I've now got that. I want to just check to make sure that my anti-erase is not on, but we will discuss that in a little bit. So I'm on, make sure that I'm on the right layer, and I'm now going to use 100%. Now, I'm going to do this relatively quick just to show what it would look like. If we were doing this properly, it would take a few more passes, but for this activity, we can do it quite quickly. So I'm going to go across the top at 100%, and you see that I'm able to rub the entire water out. Then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to change that to 67%. Now, these are just rough numbers, and if I now start rubbing this, you'll start to see that it's giving the illusion that the water is changing depth, right? And I'll do one more of 33, or somewhere in that sort of, there we go, 34. So this is now just not rubbing out quite as much. Okay, so I've now rubbed these elements out. I've given the illusion that we have a, I guess, different depth of water. Okay, so again, I'm going to take this to the rectangle select tool just so that I'm not suddenly rubbing something out if I'm operating on the other layer. Now, the other thing that we now need to bring in is the people. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to close down my wave. I've done nothing to it, so I'm going to say discard changes, and I'm now going to say file, open, and we can do the same as what we did before and get the people. Go open, and it will ask us to convert, and we will convert the image. Okay, so we now got this picture. We want these people, that's it. So we're going to use a different tool. This time we're going to use the ellipse tool. Okay, so we click on the ellipse, and then we basically just take it over the top of those people, and you can see that I've got them inside of the ellipse. The same as what we did with the rectangle select tool, we would just do, we're going to copy that. So Control C or edit copy, come over to this image, and the exact same thing that we did before, we need to go edit, paste as a new layer, and we now clearly see that on top. Now, if we look at this image, we're trying to create the perspective of size. So we're going to say, well, we need to scale this. So we sure that we're going to change this pasted layer to people. We're then going to come over to the scaling tool, click on the scale, and then scale this down, right? So the illusion is that if we know how big people are, if they're that big, the wave must be massive, the tree must be ginormous. So we're going to say scale that, and again, I'm going to come across and click on this tool here, the rectangle. So just so that I'm not getting caught with the wrong tool on the wrong layer. Now, clearly, if we look at this, there is a massive issue around how this looks. This looks like it's been stuck on top. Now, on this example, I'm going to show it. You could use the rubber and try and rub it out, but there is an easier way. So I'm going to magnify in, and we can see that that is the area that we're going to try and clear out. Now, we're going to use the color picker. Okay, so the color picker is this, select by color tool. And at the moment, it is roughly about 15 or so, which basically means that the higher this number is, the more colors it will pick in the same range. So if the lower the number is, it will have to find the exact same color. The higher the number, it will pick colors within a range, right? So here we are on this layer, and we're now going to say, well, I want to get rid of this water on the outside. So if I click on the image, and you can see that there was some stuff being active, and I now have to make sure that I do the delete from the keyboard, not the backspace, but the delete. And what you've just seen is that I've effectively got rid of the majority of the water, right? Now, I might just check to see what that actually looks like. So if I undo my wave, I will see that I still have a little remnants of water, but those I could either leave depending on how much. Like definitely these stuff out here I probably would leave because they're not going to create, but this up here may be a little bit much. So what I could do is I could do it again with the color picker, or on this one I'm probably going to go to the opacitor, and even though my brush is quite large, I'm going to rub it out. Actually that's not, select none, and we should now be active. And that is occurring because I was on the wrong, so I'm going to change that, and I'm going to make sure that this goes to 100%. Because I wasn't at 100%, it was stopping it from rubbing out. Right? So rub most of that out and gone, okay, I'm now happy with that. Put the wave back in. And now what I'm going to do, now this is a step that you don't have to do. I think it's a very useful step. I'm going to save my work. You can clearly see that I'm unsaved, so I'm going to save that. And now I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go File, Save As, and this time I'm just going to get in under the pick. I'm going to go _FI, right? And that's going to stand for flatten image. I'm going to save that. So at this stage, I've got two pieces of work that look exactly the same. Now, what I'm now going to do is I'm going, yep, I'm happy. Let's just come zoom out just to make sure, how does that look? And go, yep, that's what I'm trying to achieve at the moment. So I'm now going to go to my layer and my image. Sorry, go to the image, and I'm going to flatten the image. And what it's going to do is it's going to take them all into a single layer. Now, when I'm at this point, I'm going to save my work at this point, I cannot go back. I cannot undo this to give myself. So effectively, if I make a mistake, I can go back to the previous file, which was called demo composite pic, not FI. So it's the one that I started, and I can then make the adjustments and effectively make sure that I don't have any issues with that. I'm going to close this work now. Again, I didn't do anything. I'm going to close it, and that will be the end of this video.